theater. I'd like for you, before we get started, to familiarize yourself with our emergency exits. They're to my right, underneath this platform, and out through which the way you enter. We'd also like to ask you to silence your cell phones, and please refrain from text messaging. The Steeple Players Theater is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that depends on patrons such as yourselves for our support. We also have other supporters at our season that are Ken Burble, Mike and Barbara Ward of the GFWC Women's Club of Hendersonville. Our season sponsor is an anonymous donation in loving memory of Austin Chambers, and we're proud to have a corporate sponsor this year, U.S. Bank. If you would like to lend your time, talents, not lend your money, but maybe share your money, we'd love to have that as well. And you can visit our website at www.steepleplayers.org to see how you might want to be a part of this organization. We also still have season tickets available. We can have pick threes, which our next 3 shows are Wizard of Oz, Life with Mother Superior, and Match. So we promise to have a great rest of the season as well. So without further ado, I'd like to move us along and welcome you to the Steeple Players production of It's a Wonderful Life.
This is the story of George Bailey, an ordinary man who lives in Bedford Falls, New York. But more than anything, George wanted to see the world, the exciting world that lay somewhere beyond his hometown. George had big dreams, but also big responsibilities. Of course, sometimes the two don't exactly fit together. Sometimes happiness is not over the rainbow, but right under your nose. However, our story doesn't begin in Bedford Falls. In fact, it doesn't begin anywhere in the world. It begins here, in heaven, where I, the superintendent of angels, am briefing an apprentice angel named Clarence. Clarence? Clarence!
Clarence Allbody, AS2, reporting for duty, Your Honor.
What? They sent me an angel second class. You haven't got your wings then, have you?
No, I'm hoping this mission will do the trick. Are you really sending me to Earth? Why, the last time I was there...
Yes. Now, there's a man in trouble down there.
Good.
No, bad, Clarence. At precisely 10:45 p.m. Earth time, a man named George Bailey will be thinking of ending his life.
Oh, ending his life? Well, I know that's bad.
Good, Clarence.
Huh?
I'm glad you understand. So, you must stop him if you can. Now, let me brief you on George Bailey's case history. You see, when George was just a little boy...
Oh, that's okay, boss. All I need is a plan.
A plan?
Yes, Your Excellency. You see, I'm reading The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain.
Yes, I'm familiar with the book.
Well, Tom Sawyer always has a plan.
I see. Well, if you can help George Bailey with your plan, you may just get your wings. Say, how long have you been waiting for your wings?
200 years.
200 years? George Bailey's going to need a miracle.
Oh, thank you for your confidence in me, sir. I'll do a great job, I know it.
Wait, Clarence. Plan or no, first, some background. Now, look here. When George Bailey was a boy, he and his friends snuck onto mean Mr. Potter's property and were sliding across a frozen pond.
This is so cold out here. Be quiet. He's not gonna catch us. Oh, you're going Betsy. No, I'm going down. Behold! Harry! Hurry up! Come on, George!
But George's younger brother, Harry, fell through the ice.
And George jumped in to save him?
Yes, but as a result, George has a bad ear.
Oh, the icy water infection, I get it.
Now look, Clarence. A young George Bailey is working after school at Gower's drugstore. But today, Mr. Gower has received a telegram informing him that his only son has just died of influenza. Devastated, Mr. Gower is trying to drown his sorrows in a bottle of whiskey when...
stick. You lost it, didn't you?
No, Mr. Gower. Here it is.
Why you...
Ow! Mr. Gower! My ear! My ear! Mr.
Listen,
Gower, you
look.
pretty messed our ear!
What are you trying to do, ruin me?
No, Mr. Gower! You put the thing wrong in these pills! Look, I know you're sad. You're upset about your son dying. You've been drinking. But you put the thing wrong in these pills. I didn't know what to do. Look at them, Mr. Gower. You took the powder from this bottle. It's poison.
Poison. Oh, my
Please
God.
don't
Oh,
hurt your ear again.
George. Oh, poison. Oh, George. George.
That's why I didn't deliver the medicine, Mr. Gower. I tried to ask my pop to make sure, but he was busy. He couldn't.
Oh, George. Forgive me, George.
I would never tell you, Mr. Gower. I know you're sad. I would never tell anyone. Hope to die.
Little Mary Hatch was at the soda fountain that afternoon, Clarence. She heard it all. And she, too, never told a soul.
My. Young George really took a beating, but he did the right thing.
Well, George grew up, and he wanted to go to college, but there just wasn't enough money. So George went to work for 4 years at the Bailey Building and Loan Association.
Building and loan.
Yes, George's father was in the building and loan business, he and George's Uncle Billy. But it was a case of high ideals and low bank accounts.
Oh, those two always seem to go together.
Yes. Well, George worked at the building and loan and saved enough to pay for college. First, George was going to summer in Europe, working his way across on a cattle boat. Full of wanderlust, George wanted to do a little traveling before college.
Another piece of apple pie, George?
No, not for me. I've had enough. Gee, it's hard to believe this is my last night in the old Bailey boarding house.
We're all certainly going to miss you, son.
Well, I'm gonna miss you too, Pop and Mother and everyone in Bedford Falls.
You certainly earned your chance, son.
Oh, I'm gonna take it. What's the matter, Pop? You look kind of tired.
I don't know. I had another run-in with that Henry Potter at the bank again today.
Mr. Potter? That old money-grubbing buzzard? You know, I thought when you put him on the board of directors that he would ease up on us a little.
He is the richest man in town.
He's the most miserable man in town, if you ask me. I don't understand somebody like Mr. Potter. He can't begin to spend all the money that he has.
He's crippled. He's been in that wheelchair his whole life. He's frustrated. Now think about it.
Well, Potter owns about everything he wants in town. Everything except the Bailey Building and Loan.
Maybe that's why he hates us so bad. He probably thinks we're...
Hey, George! George! Can I borrow your tuxedo cufflinks for the dance tonight?
Sure. Help yourself, Harry.
Well, where are they?
Well, I don't know.
Are they here? In your suitcase?
Hold on, Harry. Now, George is not going to need a tuxedo on a cattle boat.
You never know. Say, where'd you get this beat-up old suitcase anyway, George?
I got it at the Emporium, Harry. Mr. Gower bought it for me.
Going away present?
Yeah, far away. See, one of these days, Harry, this old bag's gonna be plastered with exotic travel stickers. You know, like Rome and Athens and Baghdad and Samarkand.
Sounds like you're going to have a pretty full summer, George.
Oh, I'm gonna have a pretty full life.
So, why don't you come to the dance tonight?
Your graduation dance. No, I'd be bored to death.
But what a wonderful day.
Be a lot of pretty girls there, George.
And we're using that new gym floor tonight.
George, that was a brilliant idea of yours. Putting a gym floor over a pool. That saved the high school thousands.
Well, Pop, that's that's just the start for me. Now you wait. What I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna
You
see.
mean like the tattoo cufflinks?
All right, well, try upstairs, Harry. Look at my top drawer.
Okay, thanks. Yikes, I gotta go.
Now, was I anything like that when I graduated high school, Pop?
Pretty much. You know, when you go off to college, I wish I could send Harry with you.
Well, Pop, Harry and I have already got that part all figured out. See, Harry will take over my job at the building and loan, and he'll work and save for 4 years, just like I did, and then he'll go.
He's awful young for that job.
He's no younger than I was.
Yeah, but George, you were born older.
I say that again, that's I'm trickier, Pop.
I said, George, you were born older.
Well, that's the reason I've got to hurry now. There's a whole world out there, Pop, just waiting for me to conquer.
George, when you come back from college, you wouldn't consider coming back to the building and loan, would you?
What? Come back. No. No. Now, Papa, I just couldn't. I couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life behind a desk, pushing pencils in a shabby little office building.
I see.
Well, Papa, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. It's just this business of nickels and dimes.
I know. Spending your whole life trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe. I understand.
Do you, Pop? See, staying here, I just go crazy. See, I want to do something. I want to do something big, something important.
But in a small way, we do something important, huh? We help people get their own homes. We help their dreams to come true.
I know, Papa. It's just that most of my friends have already finished college, and I figured if I didn't get away, that I'd bust.
I guess you're right, son.
You know what I mean, don't you?
I know that this town is no place for anybody unless they go crawling to that Henry